Imagine it is 1936. The streets are a sea of fedoras, the air is thick with jazz and cigar smoke, and a man named Dale Carnegie has just released his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It wasn't just a bestseller, it was a manual for a new kind of social engineering. It promised that if you just understood the person across from you, you could navigate any conversation, win any argument, and basically revolutionize your entire life.
Fast forward to right now. We're still reading it, but let's be real. Modern business feels less like a polite 1930s lunch and more like a pressure cooker, where everyone is one wrong word away from exploding.
We've all been there. You walk into a meeting with an airtight case, but the second you open your mouth, the other person's face turns into a brick wall.
It's like they decided no before you even finished hello. You're trying to move the needle, and they're anchored to the floor like they're wearing 400-pound concrete shoes. You're hitting this invisible force field where logic just dies.
There's a specific neurological reason why that happens. Today, we're using Carnegie's insights as a foundation, but we're stripping away the 1930s politeness to see what actually works today when the stakes are high.
And the stakes are huge. In 3 hours, Jay and I are renegotiating with our lead investor, Charlie. If we don't get this right, the Mindset Matters studio becomes a very expensive storage unit for Jay's paleo art collection.
It doesn't sound so bad if you put it like that.
Jay has a life-size velociraptor made of reclaimed copper wire. It's terrifying. It has these glowing resin eyes that seem to follow you around the room. Our office cat, Costello, already has anxiety issues without having to share his home with a metal predator. So, for the sake of the studio, our careers, and the cat, we need this money.
It's art, Alex. But seriously, today is the day. We're using this session to sharpen the blade. Carnegie's core insight was that people don't care about your logic until they feel you actually care about them. That's the human connection bit. That hasn't changed in a century. What has changed is that we now know the why. We can actually see the reward centers of the brain light up when these principles are applied correctly.
I still struggle with his avoid all arguments rule. In business, you have to push back, or you'll get steamrolled.
It's not about being a doormat. It's about psychological reactance. When people feel pressured or cornered, their brain triggers a security protocol. They'll do the opposite of what you want just to reassert their autonomy.
So if I push Charlie, I just trigger his inner rebel. Got it. But Jay, since we're channeling the 1930s, maybe I should treat Charlie's office like a speakeasy. I'll knock 3 times and whisper, "Haddock," through the mail slot.
Prohibition ended in 1933, Alex. And that password is from the Marx Brothers movie. It was swordfish.
Sure, let the dinosaur guy ruin the vibe with a timeline correction. I'm building atmosphere here, Jay.
We don't need a password. We need Carnegie's first law, a genuine interest in people. For example, he said a person's name is the sweetest sound in any language. Modern neuroscience agrees. Hearing your own name triggers the brain's reward regions, specifically the ventral striatum. It signals that we see Charlie as a human, not an ATM.
Funnily enough, I tried this at the deli yesterday. The guy behind the counter looked like he'd been awake since the Eisenhower administration. His name tag said Mike. I usually just grunt pastrami on rye, but I stopped and said, "Mike, you're a legend for handling this lunch rush. Thanks for taking care of me."
And?
Well, he looked at me like I just handed him a gold bar. He gave me double cheese, didn't charge me the extra $3, and actually smiled. It wasn't a tactic, it was just acknowledging that Mike is a human being and not just a sandwich-making bot.
That is exactly what Carnegie meant by honest, sincere appreciation. Flattery is cheap. People can smell a fake compliment from a block away. But authentic appreciation strengthens the social bond at a neurological level. It releases oxytocin. It builds trust. But for Charlie, we have to go deeper than just being nice. We need the self-persuasion effect.
Okay, self-persuasion. That sounds like some Jedi-level stuff. Lay it on me.
People aren't convinced by your arguments. They're convinced by the ones they generate themselves. If you say it, he's skeptical. If he says it, he believes it 100%. To get him there, we use the scale technique.
So, how does that sound in the room?
We don't pitch, we ask. Charlie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you in the direction of mindset matters right now?
Okay, let's say he's grumpy and says, maybe a 6.
Well, the old salesy way is to say, only a 6? Let me show you why we're a 10. But that triggers reactance. Instead, you ask, that's helpful. Why is it a 6 and not, say, a 2 or a 3?
Oh, that's clever. To answer that, he has to list all the reasons why he is confident in us. He has to justify why he hasn't bailed yet.
Bingo. He's no longer defending against you. He's articulating his own logic. He's building our case because the words are coming out of his own mouth.
So, wait. Does this mean the less I talk, the more Charlie likes me, and the more likely he is to give us the investment? Jay, this is the hardest technique you've ever given me. You know I love the sound of my own voice.
It's the ultimate Carnegie principle. Be a good listener. When you let the other person talk, specifically about themselves and their own ideas, it actually activates the reward centers in their brain. It's a literal chemical high. If you let Charlie talk for 40 minutes and you only talk for 10, he'll walk out of that room thinking you're the most brilliant conversationalist he's ever met.
I'm ready. I'll use his name, ask the scale question, and let him do the heavy lifting. Let's go get that money. Costello's not sharing a home with a wire dinosaur. We got it. Full investment. Charlie was great today, and I think Costello's plight really affected him emotionally. He did name him, after all. He even used his late father's fountain pen to sign the deal.
Yeah, that was a touching gesture, wasn't it?
Though, he said something weird. He said, "It's quieter this way and ensures nobody leaves the room with a mess on the floor."
He was probably just talking about the ink, I'd imagine. Hey, what was Charlie's last name?
Luciano. Why?
Wait, Charlie Luciano. As in, no, that's insane. He said he was a retired actuary from Jersey.
Right, exactly. Completely different Luciano family. I'm sure there are hundreds of them in Jersey who aren't gangsters. Definitely. Probably. Maybe.
Right. The important thing, the only thing that matters, is that we got the investment and we're still in business.
The quiet thing. The mess on the floor. Jay, I'm not sure about this anymore. I think it's maybe time to go. Like, right now.
Right. Catch you guys in the next one. And seriously, please subscribe for reasons purely about our high-quality content, and definitely nothing to do with needing to hit a certain growth metric for our, personal safety.
I'm out of here.
Alex, wait up!
We'll see you when we see you!